The Voting Rights Act went into law on August the 6th, 1965, and under the 15th Amendment, Africans could not vote. Lyndon Johnson was president in 1963, and there were 6 Africans in the House of Representatives. Johnson took over after Kennedy was shot, so it was not that long ago. I am 50, so it was just 2 years before I was born. I have never voted and never will. It is breaking the law. Voting is a method for a group, such as a meeting or an election, to make a decision or express an opinion. I see a lot wrong with this part. Register, a recorded or list of names, events, items, a book, which this is kept. Now let's look at the word beg. Ask someone earnestly or humbly for something. Number 2. Ask for something, typically food, money, as charity or a gift. And of course, this kept paperwork. The U.S. was divided during the 1863 over slavery and rights of slave owners. In 1850, men had to own property to vote. Now we don't need property. If you owned property back then you had the right to say and believe the way you wanted. Now we don't own property, and we have to sign paperwork to vote. In 1810, the last religious for voting was eliminated. So where did God go in all this? Not in the rights of the believer. So who took over? In 1855, the Irish Catholic immigrants was discriminated against. So in 1870, the 15th Amendment was passed and gave slaves the right to vote. Then in 1889, poll tax. What is poll? Poll, the head, the crown, back, or hair of the head. So you got tax for your head. In 1961, the 23rd Amendment was allowed voters of the District of Columbia, Washington, to participate in political elections. Did you know the Electoral College U.S. is the institution that officially elects the president and vice president of the U.S. every 4 years? Look it up. It is free. Your vote does not count. And in some places, you can vote early. 1861 to 1863 suspended the right of habeas corpus. Abraham Lincoln was president. He always had to maintain a moderate course in his politics. So he resorted force to prevent the border states from joining the Confederacy in 1861. He declared martial law. Maryland, that was marching to Washington, D.C. 1861 to 1863, Southerners opposed new legislation without any state rights. Republicans could pass higher tax rights, a whole wide variety of badly needed reform bills, strengthened the national economy, and boosted the federal government. New laws have been issued by individual states or banks and replaced them with a single dollar backed by the gold in the U.S. Treasury. So they had to have paperwork to get more from the Treasury. Every time you ask or register to the government, you are begging. You go in and ask for the paperwork to vote and register your car, kids, whatever you have. The government thinks it can get free or get money out of. God does not. 1861, you did not have to register. Martial law is the imprisonment of the highest ranked military officer as the military government or as the head of the government. thus removing all power from the previous exclusive legislative and judicial branches of the government. Martial law can be used by the government to enforce their rule over the public. I did not find anywhere where it has been reinstated from Abraham Lincoln. So did Obama take it away also? How? He could not reform what was not never reinstated. So have we been under martial law all this time? Yes, under the courts. Little by little, they take away our rights. So can you see how voting is against the law? George Washington's time, they did not have to register for anything. Washington in 1789, 69 members of Congress cast their ballots to elect George Washington, the first president of the U.S. So what does the 14th Amendment mean? No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privilege or immunities of the citizens of the U.S.